Back live in Lincolnton, Week 2, Game Night Live. The Lincoln County Red Devils lead the McCormick Chiefs 41-8 as we start the final quarter of play. And with the score the way it is, they have decided we will have a running clock here in quarter number 4. And Lincoln County will begin the fourth. 2nd and 7 from their own, about their own 9-yard line, it looks like. And this is Rawls again. Woo! That was Parks with the hit again, and it was Rawls' helmet that came off, so he'll have to come out for a play. But Hawes, see who got the worst of this here.
Whoa, I think Hawes did.
I think Hawes did.
We'll go out on a limb. But you're right, I thought it was kind of a collision.
I did too.
That was a big hit by Parks. That is, so far to me, the Augusta Payne Center hit of the game.
And the most important part for Lincoln County, it is a first down. This time the run will go to Darian Elder as the sophomore gets into the game.
And keep in mind, we talked a lot about Gerard Hurst leading up to this game, and we found out, and this was something that Lincoln County didn't get out really. A lot of big supporters of the program didn't even know about it until yesterday, that Hurst has a broken toe, and we haven't seen him tonight. But they've been just fine running the football with the duo they've got back there, and that's mainly been Jamal Norman and Ricardo Hawes.
With a 33-point lead, Kevin Banks going to get some of his younger players into the game now, although Reed's still manning the quarterback spot. And now we're going to have a flag, and while we wait to get that call, let's go down to the field for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report, and Matt Lane.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Yeah, down here each and every year, this is one of the more physical games both of these teams play, and as you've kind of seen tonight, Mateo Durant struggling a little bit on offense, but really playing a lot of plays on defense. You got to remember he plays both ways, so a lot of plays on his legs tonight. He actually just kind of cooled off, just kind of threw water all over himself. It's still kind of a muggy night out here as we're still on the back end of summer. But for Mateo Durant, you know, you're used to the exciting highlight runs and all the yardage, but it is something that, you know, with all the heat still towards the back end of summer, and then also with all those defensive plays on the legs, it is kind of tough to get really your legs in motion and really get things going on offense, especially when you're kind of struggling for the young man tonight. So tough night for him, but really playing both ways. You certainly love to see that in high school football when you're able to do that and help your team out. Back to you, John.
And there will be better days for Mateo Durant and these McCormick Chiefs.
Yeah, he's still right around 70 yards with Lincoln County.
If that's a bad night.
That's not. Yeah, if that's a bad night, I'm sure most kids would take it. Timeout on the field, of course, our Napleton Infinity of Augusta timeout.
And we'll take it with them back after this. While we were away, we missed a couple of runs, one by Halls for about 4 yards, another just there by Darian Elder, the sophomore, for another 4, maybe 3. So it's going to be 3rd and 7.
At some point, let's see if they get Reed out of there, because, again, Reed is your starter. You don't want to see him get hurt in the first game. Reggie Reed is checked into the game, a freshman wideout.
A lot of younger players on the field now for the Red Devils. But the senior Reed hands off to Hawes, who again is met at the line. Parks
has played a game tonight,
and especially considering the fact that he was hurt for most of the second quarter into the third quarter. But we've called his name a lot,
despite that shoulder. And usually, if you got a shoulder, maybe you shy away from the contact. But man, he's going right in there and sticking his nose right in the middle of the play. And like I said, for my money, although we've had about 5 big hits, he's got the Augusta Payne Center hit of the game tonight. For visual and everything, the helmet flying off. William Leroy going to punt it for Lincoln County.
Silas Kennedy will return it, or at least try to.
Get to see some of that speed the coaches were telling us about.
Good kick by Leroy, and Kennedy's just going to let that thing roll down dead at about the 21-yard line. So 41-8 with 7:22 and left in the game, and that means literally 7:22 left with the running clock.
Yeah, if McCormick had punched it in, we might not have seen that. Unfortunately for them, they didn't convert that 4th down.
All right, we'll step aside real quick. Be right back after this. Back live at Larry Campbell Stadium with Lincoln County leading 41-8, less than 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs taking over on first down, and Walters elusive Flag down, and probably going to be a hold, but not a bad little run by Walters to avoid tacklers.
Coach said he's a playmaker.
Unfortunately.
If you're just joining us tonight, big night, big first half for Lincoln County, especially the running of Jamal Norman and big plays from Antonio Williams. Williams with 2 touchdown catches. Oh, big block there by Kennedy, one of the smallest guys on the field. But that's a penalty now, and that's a new rule in the state of Georgia. They're really cracking down on that block where you catch the guy not paying attention on the reversal or something of play. That's a penalty now in the state of Georgia, and that's what the call was. What? Yeah. So you've got to be – it's almost like a defenseless receiver basically now on those blocks. They're trying to cut that down this year. New rule in Georgia.
And despite the direction they pointed, it is a penalty on McCormick. So,
and it was on that block by Kennedy. But what I was saying, Antonio Williams had a huge game, 2 catches, 64 yards, 2 scores. Number 25, he's been a standout. Also has a kick return for a score. And also Jamal Norman, his running. And on defense, Norman has been outstanding.
An impressive all-around performance by Lincoln County tonight. And, look, you look at McCormick, and as we said, they're going to be better days for them. They're trending in the right direction. This was a 41-0 game a year ago. It's 41-8. You got on the board this year.
And they could have easily scored a second possession. Remember, they were right there and had to go for it on 4th down and didn't get it.
Well, it has been maybe tumultuous might not be the word, but an eventful offseason for the Chiefs. Their head coach, Russell Schneider, had them trending in the right direction last year. Russell's a good friend of yours and mine. Was arrested and charged with DUI back in February. Was not relieved of his coaching duties until right before the season. Is still teaching in the district. And Paul Pratt, who was Schneider's offensive coordinator last year, takes over right before the season. And, it'll probably take a little while to, even though he's been in the system so long, to really sort of put his stamp on this.
Different role. I mean, it's a completely different role, no doubt, no question. And then he's got to rely on guys. He was one of those guys now. And now he's got to find those people under him.
2nd and a long way for McCormick. 2nd and 16. Walters will look to throw. And instead will keep it. Nice.
Well, he dodged the first defender, but then number 4, Quidarius Hogan came in and made the tackle.
He leapfrogged Wayne right there, but then another red jersey right there to meet him.
I tell you, though, the kid, he's tough. You got to give this kid credit. He knows he's going to take a shot.
Well,
did you see Hogan jump over that McDonald's thing like it wasn't even there? Speaking of McDonald's, I'm a little bit hungry. I don't have that vertical. I could jump over the black writing, I'm loving it, underneath the Golden Arches.
Clock down to near 5 minutes. Now Walters will throw, and nobody out there. What'd you think of the Eclipse?
I might irritate some fans here.
Oh, boy.
Not a big fan.
Did you go to the path of totality?
Here's the thing. It's dark every night. If you're willing to see darkness, just walk outside at 11. Matter of fact, if you want to really be amazed, go in every room in your house and cut the lights on and off. That's amazing. The fact that you can do that, not the eclipse.
But outside, you can't do it at 3 p.m.
They're gonna. Hey, by the way, this lie they're giving you that it's not going to happen again. Another one's coming, April 8th, 2024.
Oh, man. Kevon Franklin, another sophomore, back to return the punt for Lincoln County, and they're going to have to down that back at the 30 or the 44-yard line.
If there was any doubt I'm becoming an old man, there it is.
You are. You're a grumpy old man. You're going to tell the guys to get off the lawn out there in a second.
And we were talking earlier about some of the top performers tonight. To be honest with you, you could argue both sides of the ball, Jamal Norman, but I think on defense, I give him. He's really stood out. He's come up and made the key hit from the very first play of the game. If you remember, he made the hit behind the line of scrimmage. So number 12, Jamal Norman, has been outstanding on both sides of the ball. Antonio Williams on offense has been great. Number 25 with 3 scores, 1 on a kick return. Those 2 guys stand out. The quarterback play of Javon Reed's been really good also. And also, Roberts has been good as well, Madarius Roberts.
That's Rawls again. So, a couple of programming notes for you. Number one, with the length of this game, we will have News Channel 6 at 10 here on MeTV coming up at the top of the hour with Dee Griffin, who's probably standing by in studio right now. And then at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6, of course, it is Football Friday night with a complete recap and reaction from this one, as well as all of your highlights from around the area. Rawls again, up the middle again, and a whole host of white jerseys in the way.
And those highlights include Thompson in a dogfight tonight with Effingham County. Effingham County and Thompson locked at 7. And that is in the second quarter. So Thompson tied with Effingham right now. Also, North Oconee leads Grovetown 21-zip. Jefferson County leads Lakeside 10-zip. Some other scores from around the area.
And if you're just getting home from your game or you're watching online and just tuning in, we will have a re-air of this game on Sunday on WJBF News Channel 6.
That's right. You get to hear our play on the word Duke.
Oh man, that was one of the highlights. That should be in the Football Friday night recap tonight.
Actually, you ought to watch this for all the hits. I mean, good gracious, obviously to see some highlights, Lincoln County's look good, but all the hits tonight have been worth it.
I want to apologize to Ricardo Halls. I think I've called him Rawls a couple of times, kind of slurring Ricardo Halls together. So, but he's had a big game here tonight for the Red Devils.
Tell you, that's a good-looking freshman, number 34, Colton Willis, right there. Just ran the last play. Look at that. That's a ninth grader. Pretty good-sized kid.
And the quarterback is a junior now, Monquavius Leverett of the Lincoln County Leverets.
Nowhere to go that time, and give Kadarius Garrett, number 10, credit. Also number 62 in on that play as well for McCormick. That's Justin Harrison, excuse me.
Under 90 seconds to play now.
Yeah, Nathan's pointing out like a trend we're seeing. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the smaller schools, and I don't know if it's because they grow up running the same system, working with the same coaches, whatever it is. It seems like the smaller schools, we see bigger hits, and we see better sure tackling. Washington Wilkes stands out in past years. Those kids seem like they're better sure tacklers. For whatever reason, it might just be a coincidence, but it seems like the smaller programs, we've seen better hitting.
Well, we've seen some vicious hits in this game tonight.
Yeah. Aquinas now 24-12 over Laney. That game's in the fourth.
This is Hawes pushing straight ahead as we are inside the final minute of play. Impressive performance by the Red Devils tonight.
No doubt about it. They will open the season 1-0 with an impressive win for the second straight year. They score 41.
And they will go to Grovetown next week, and that'll be interesting to watch.
Well, Grovetown tonight struggling, but they're playing a pretty good. North Oconee struggled last year, but obviously this year Grovetown. Look, you can't graduate 33 seniors and 7 college signees and not struggle a little bit, and that's what they're doing right now.
So Lincoln County will head off to face Grovetown next week as this ball game comes to a close. McCormick will regroup and get ready to hit the road next week and play Southside Christian.
And next week, we head over to Richmond Academy, and right now they lead Westside 41-6. They will host Aiken. Aiken struggling tonight against Strom Thurmond. They trail 30-6.
What was that Richmond Academy score again?
41-6 ARC over Westside. And congrats to their new coach, Lyle Burns.
Yeah.
Was just hired as the coach there, longtime assistant in the area. And congrats to him getting a nice win tonight.
So your score, the final here at Larry Campbell Stadium, is the Lincoln County Red Devils 41. The McCormick Chiefs 8. And in just a moment, we will honor our players of the game and hopefully get some reaction from Lincoln County head coach Kevin Banks as Matt Lane tries to corral them on the sidelines.
And, John, real quick, too, South Aiken has rallied and now leads White Knoll 27-21 in the third quarter.
Well,
that South Aiken team's pretty good.
We knew last week that game was going to be a barn burner.
Yeah. Well, tonight, look, you had a Lincoln County team that not only was bigger in numbers, bigger up front, and it showed. I credit McCormick, though. They played with a lot of heart.
All right, we will come back and wrap things up after this. Your final score, once again, Lincoln County 41, McCormick 8. You're watching Game Night Live. Back in Lincolnton one more time, where the Red Devils have defeated their oldest rival, the McCormick Chiefs, 41-8. And Let's head down to the field with Matt Lane with the victorious head coach, Kevin Banks.
Thank you, John. Yeah, here with Coach Banks. Coach, looked really good in the first half, really kind of played a full game. How do you feel about your performance tonight?
Well, I thought we played really good in the first half. The biggest thing, man, nobody got hurt. So, we can take that and we'll watch film Monday and go back to the drawing board and get ready for the largest school in Columbia County.
That's right. You look good running the ball. It looked like at times you were kind of working on things. Is that something you were certainly trying to do not only in the first half but the second half?
We struggled a little bit against Evans running the football, so we came out and tried to establish the running the football, and I think we did a good job at it.
And throwing it a little bit to Antonio, he certainly had a big night on offense. Certainly plays great on defense as well. Is that something y'all were trying to do, just kind of throw the ball around a little bit or just get some stuff on film?
Well, we're going to throw the ball around this year. So, and Antonio is going to be a big part of what we do. And I thought he did a good job of handling. I thought Javon made 2 or 3 heck of plays out there. So we're going to throw the football some.
Thank you, Coach. Back to you, John.
All right, Matt Lane. And now AB has our Augusta Payne Center hit of the game.
Well, we had a lot of good ones, John, but the one I thought was the winner was a really good one. Did you see Hawes with the run, and out of nowhere, right here, he's about to get tattooed on that play. And that right there, I mean, just the looks of it and all, doesn't get any better. And I might have given credit to the wrong guy that hit him. Earlier we said it was 24. It was actually Kennedy who hit him. A small guy, one of the smallest guys on the field, lays our Augusta Payne Center hit of the game. I had given credit to the wrong player. So Kennedy gets the hit of the game, Silas Kennedy from McCormick.
So on a night when not everything went McCormick's way, on the losing end of a 41-8 score, the Chiefs get our hit of the game, so they can take that back home with them on the bus.
And we're trying to effort to find our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. And it was tough to choose, really, John, on defense. There was some pretty, team effort. And on offense, 2 or 3 guys stood out. I want to say one thing, though, before we announce the players, because I agree with the coach. I thought Javon Reed made some really mature plays at quarterback, rolling, getting himself time, keeping a play alive, and then finding a receiver downfield. There was a couple plays where he ran the ball where he was super patient, waiting on things to develop. I was really impressed with him.
You and I talked about that during the game, his ability to see the field and let the play come to him.
And that comes with seasoning as a quarterback. And, as a sophomore, you could see he had some ability. He's also filled out some. He's one of the bigger guys on the field when he's out there, and he played a heck of a game tonight. Update on a big game between kind of a cross-river battle here. North Augusta now leads Evans 28-16. That game is in the 4th quarter. Remember, all the highlights, all the scores, everything coming up on Football Friday night over on WJBF with Nathan Palm and Zach Rogers.
Zach Hughes.
Oh, Zach Hughes, excuse me. Zach Rogers, I'm thinking about a baseball player.
Zach's ears just perked up in the sports office, I assure you. All right, so again, 41-8 the final here, and we are waiting to hear from our players of the game. And there you see Football Friday night, just about an hour and a half away over on WJBF News Channel 6.
I'll have time to catch it.
You don't even have to DVR it tonight.
Last week I did not. I like I said, though, you don't understand, John, the kid thing.
No, I don't.
They're in bed and the wife is in bed. Trust me, that is gold, that time. So being able to come home and watch it at night, not having to worry about fighting because my daughter wants to be on Netflix or my son is wanting to be doing something. So
do you literally hear angels sing?
Oh, it is great. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to start when I walk in the door. I'm going to start having doves fly in front of me as I come in on those nights.
Well, we are about to go back down to Matt Lane for our players of the game tonight. So let's do that right now. Matt Lane with another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
Thank you, John, here for the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Obviously a great game tonight from the Lincoln County Red Devils. Real quick, first off, I want to talk to Miranda Beard here on behalf of McDonald's. Real quick, Miranda, I know you love coming out to these type of events and kind of hanging out with the community. Can you talk about what McDonald's does not only for the community but really high school athletics?
Yes. We're proud to be a sponsor with the high school players, and we're just thankful for all these players we have on our team.
Absolutely, and it's a lot of fun each and every week to be able to come out and check out high school football. especially in great areas like this in Lincoln County. Starting things off, this is going to be kind of different because we have offensive and defensive players, but they're sort of switched tonight. So first off, for the defensive player of the game, Jamal Norman, senior, had a lot of big key hits. So I want to give that to Jamal on behalf of McDonald's. There, Miranda will hand you that. I know many folks in your family known as offensive players. I actually played with somebody in your family, went to Valdosta State, but just a lot of great lineage in your family on the offensive and not only defensive side of the ball. Can you talk about what it means to play for Lincoln County?
It's a great experience, and I love playing for my team. And I love all my players, the teammates, coaches. I'm finna push hard, try to go to state.
Very cool, very cool. And then on the offensive side of the ball tonight, but really, you play middle linebacker, don't you? That's right. Antonio Williams, the senior, had 146 all-purpose yards tonight, 2 touchdowns receiving, but also that great punt return for the touchdown, or kick return, sorry. Took it right by the sideline and took it back to the house, I think, for 70 yards. So congratulations. And what's your favorite part about playing both offense and defense during the game?
It's just a good experience. My uncles, they played receiver and cornerback. I'm just following their footsteps.
Offensive player of the game right here, Antonio Williams, senior, linebacker, not only linebacker, but kick return specialist, and then also receiver tonight. But all on behalf of McDonald's, the offensive and defensive players of the game. Back to you, John.
All right, Matt Lane down on the field for us, doing great work here on week 2 of Game Night Live. So again, 41-8, a very impressive performance tonight by Lincoln County. Final thoughts, AB?
Well, yeah, real quick on the players of the game. Might have been a little confusing because Jamal Norman could have easily won offensive as well.
We actually debated that up here.
But he had such a good game on both sides. Good to see him get one of the awards. But, look, final thoughts. Lincoln County's, again, I think it's the best team Coach Banks has had since he took over. Mm-hmm. I think they got a chance to go deep, as one of the players was talking about, in the state playoffs. We didn't even see what could be one of their better players in Gerard Hurst. So terrific game tonight for them. And for McCormick, and there you see Jamal Norman, who early in the game really set the tone both on offense and defense. Here's a great run by him.
That's one of the reasons he could have been the offensive player of the game.
On either side. And then for McCormick, like I said, keep your head up. This is an opponent you know is one of the better teams you're going to see all year. Things are going to change as you move further, and I think we're going to see them have some success too.
Well, again, McCormick will hit the road next week and take on Southside Christian. Lincoln County, as Coach Banks mentioned, will travel to Columbia County and take on Grovetown. Going to be a lot more players on that Grovetown sideline than there is the Lincoln County side.
Not a lot of experience, though.
That's the problem.
So far, they got roughed up a little bit last week by Burke County, and they're getting roughed up tonight by North Coney as well. And you're right, Grovetown's trying to find their identity a little bit, and they're struggling. And I tell you, this Lincoln County team, I don't care about the size of the school. Grovetown's going to have their hands full with this bunch, and especially with, like I said, a more mature Javon Reed and a real complete team. I mean, that's what I saw tonight from Lincoln County. By the way, Football Friday night, don't want to miss it because nail biter between Thompson and Effingham County.
Don't
want to give you the ending, but it's a good one. You don't want to miss it.
We'll leave that one for Nathan Palm and Zach Hughes. We, next week, will be in downtown off Walton Way for Aiken at Richmond Academy. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, Aiken was a power in South Carolina for a long, long time, and they've been down for a while. They're struggling a little bit this year. ARC's kind of riding high. They hammered a rival of theirs tonight in Westside, or at least they're continuing to hammer. They've got a new coach in Lyle Burns. I think that's going to be a close contest, but I maybe give Richmond a slight edge. But it's going to be a good ball game, and it's our first chance to see Richmond in a while, and our first chance to see Aiken in a while as well. So good to see those two programs that have been around the CSRA for so long.
So once again, the final score 41-8. Lincoln County wins here tonight. Coming up next here on MeTV is News Channel 6 at 10. Don't forget Football Friday night coming up at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6 with Nathan Palm and Zach Hughes. We'll have a recap of this one and all the highlights from around the area. And if you missed tonight's broadcast, please join us again for a re-air on Sunday on WJBF News Channel 6. And I also have a feeling there might be a pretty good story in the paper about this game tomorrow. Just keep an eye out for that. So, one more time from Larry Campbell Stadium at Buddy Bufford Field here in beautiful Lincolnton, Georgia. Your final score, the Lincoln County Red Devils 41, the McCormick Chiefs 8. Good night from Lincoln.